There we go.
We are live. Hey, dreamers.
Hi, everyone.
We're just smoking the place out today before we get started in conversation. And we have not been online for a little while doing our conversations. Just because. It's
life.
life, okay? Vacations and life and stuff. And this conversation today that we're going to have has been unfolding. Hi, Lynn. For over a month, right? So it clearly wasn't ready to be talked about. And even every time I start talking about it with Kim, Spirit freezes it. So we're gonna see how far we get into this conversation.
If we can get through this, right? Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. So we're going to talk about the multidimensional being. Hi, Juan. Hi, Dave. Juan DeV. David. I don't know what you want me to call him. Bob's friend.
Okay.
Hi. Yes. Okay. So honoring the multidimensional being, right? That's what station is going to try to be about. And we'll see how far we get through the conversation. Am I frozen already?
Sometimes it's almost like, they don't want us to share.
Right. Then why do they keep talking to me? Why do they keep showing things to me?
I know. Right? Okay, just let us share. We'll only share the parts that we're supposed to. How's that?
Right. And that's all that's typed on the page.
Yeah, that's it. So we're just saying out loud to spirit, to beings, to higher dimensions, to different dimensions that we're not sharing any of the secrets. We're just sharing what we see through meditation, through dream, and just every day. So these are changes that some are aware of and some are not aware of yet.
Okay.
So please just let us chat for a little bit, and we're not telling any secrets.
No secrets to be told. Okay, so I don't know if there's a frequency coming through, or should I put on my headphones? I don't really know.
You sound fine right now, and like Lynn or is it Juan David? David? Yeah.
Juan, is there a frequency coming through? Can you hear, or do you just hear our voices? Wait and see.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. Usually I hear something, but it's actually very very clear right now.
Oh, good. Well, we'll keep talking then.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so some of us are not aware that we are born being multidimensional beings. Thanks, Lynn. Just my voice. Good. Okay. But we are more than just our human body. More than just this body walking around, talking and having experiences and loving and grieving and all those emotions in between all that. We're more complicated than that. Okay? We have layers and layers, and we're being nudged to honor these layers. So honoring the multidimensional beings that we are by doing that. And what that means is taking self-care to the next level. Okay, so it means trusting your gut feelings. It means honoring the self and the immediate responses that we're getting. The feelings, that intuition are right there, that gut feeling. And of course, understanding that sometimes it doesn't make sense. Almost all the time, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
But trusting that when you honor intuition, you're building more self-trust. So you're learning to trust yourself.
Yep.
And eventually it starts to make sense.
Yeah, you're building that muscle. So that's exactly what you have to do is, your intuition. And we've talked about it many times that when your intuition kicks in and we don't use it, that's not how it's supposed to go. We're supposed to listen to our intuition. And if you just kind of push it aside, like saying, there's no way that, I'm supposed to do this today. That's your ego stepping in. And when we say ego in the spiritual world or this kind of thing, it doesn't mean like you're, looking at yourself that way. It's just doubt. Ego is doubt.
Right. Or worry or any of those low vibing things.
Coordinate energies. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So previous in life, you may not have been aware of your own multidimensional being, right? So there was no requirement to either, actually, or to honor it, or to offer it any self-care. Okay. It was just part of who we were, and we were unaware of it. We just honored this human body, and we pampered it and took care of it, hair and nails and massage and whatever kind of self-care we need, right? Um, we took care of it like it was separate, like it was a separate from our soul and separate from our multidimensional being.
Yes.
But as the energy on the planet shifts, and our multidimensional being shifts also, and we merge with it to work with it as one with our human body, without the human body being so affected by it. But that's a slow process, right? So we are affected immediately because something's changing. Until we understand what's changing, we're still going to be affected,
right?
Like drastically.
Right. So if you're like, and for me, my dreams are changing like 100% flipped and are giving me a lot more information about other things. And that just shows there how the, different dreams for me is interrupting my physical because I'm not sleeping well because of it.
Right.
Right. Yes. So I have to, get myself used to this shift as well, like my physical self, because I'm not sleeping with these different dreams. So,
well the human body's fragile, right? Yeah. It's super sensitive to energy, whether we're aware of it or not. Mm-hmm. We are being affected. All of us are being affected. It's just by the shift of energy and the upgrades and the downloads that are happening every day. We're all receiving this stuff. We are shifting in our consciousness levels, the entire planet. We're no longer working towards that shift. We're in it. Mm-hmm. And our fragile, tiny human bodies have to adjust to it. It's no longer just empaths. It's not just psychics or intuitive people who are feeling all these things now. It's all of us. It's everyone.
And you and I have both, we've talked about this many, many times. And you and I have been noticed, friends or clients coming in that are asking, like, what is different? What is and they have no idea what's going on. Like some will think, oh, it must be a retrograde, like, because
they always say that. Yes.
They go to that because that's the, everybody
that's something
knows
that our brains can understand. Right. Oh, it's in retrograde. Something's in retrograde, right?
So we both notice a big change in people that, don't necessarily use their gifts like you and I, but they're noticing that something is different.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All across the board, and our entire chakra system, right? Yeah. It has also been upgraded energetically, and people aren't aware of that. So as we are required to vibrate differently, the new energies that are arriving and the planets that are shifting, moving, aligning, and becoming more present to Earth.
And we know that's happening this week. So
that's happening on Friday. So that's been happening for hundreds of years, though. It's not just happening Friday, right? So it's taken a lot of years for these planets to actually be in alignment. Right. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
And they're calling us to notice. They're calling on us to notice how we're feeling. Okay. So, and that's feeling on every level. It's all happening and will continue to happen. It's not going to stop. And it's necessary for us now to honor that multidimensional being we are individually. Right. The emotions are not separate anymore from the physical, and the physical is not separate anymore from the spiritual. They're all one. Okay. So when we talked a long time ago about the divine being, that divine human being, we're merging. This is part of it all. Okay. So we are actually going to be our light body, and our light body in the physical body causes some problems. Like we're just being affected on every level.
Every level.
Yes. For myself specifically, in the past 2.5 weeks, I've been sensitive, even more so, to frequencies.
Yes.
So as we go along in the conversation, you're going to understand that the frequencies are what we're actually being affected by. And when we say frequencies, we mean like music and tones and sounds. Those are frequency. But there's other frequencies that we don't hear, but our soul hears.
Yes, and we're feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Yes, and then we start to feel it. So that's trying to indicate to us, to our body, that something's shifting in our mind and soul. Right. So now I know that what's been happening the last 2 weeks, I have this new deflecting system right? That if a frequency is coming at me that I'm not like okay with or
Mm-hmm.
matching or it's harming me in some way, it deflects it back. But my light body wants to grab a hold of it and flush it through my physical body. So I've been experiencing some uncomfortableness with that. However, I got my final message today while I was in giving a session, a Reiki session. And that feeling came on again. And I stepped back and I said, I'm going to leave you in the hands of your angels and your guides. And I'm going to step out.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually stepped out of the room
Mm-hmm.
and released the energy. And then I could go back in fine.
See?
Yes. So that was my final message. When I get those sensations, it's something that my deflection system couldn't deflect.
Right.
Right. So I absorbed it somehow and I needed to get rid of it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Well, it was
good.
Very, very intense. Like, so I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die right now. I got to go out. I got to leave the room. And how do you leave your client, right?
Well, there are times that, during a treatment that we are told to step back. Their guides or their people want to step in for a minute or two and help out.
Well,
and
all along then, this past 2.5 weeks, they've been trying to tell me to step back and step out. Right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't understanding what they were saying or trying to understand or convey.
Right.
And it was coming like you, right? Through dreams and like wacky, crazy dreams and just through certain things that I wasn't grasping.
Yes.
And now I get it. Right?
Being patient is a must with this. And we were just talking about that before we started because I am not, as Jenni has mentioned many times, and I'm ready to look at the back of the page, the back page of the book, and but I know
she always wants to read the end of the story first. And honestly, Kim, I used to be like that. I would get a book, flip right to the back, read the last page, and then read the book. I'm no longer. I don't care about the end anymore.
No, you know what? I'm actually like, joking. I when I step out of my vibration, I want to do that. But when I step back in and I'm getting the symbols, which is going on with me right now, no, I'm more interested in how they're coming and keeping track of them and stuff like that to see. It's almost like you said, a puzzle, and we have to put our
giant, a ginormous puzzle, and we're given all these pieces through angels, through guides, through dreams, through conversations, our intuition, and we got to put the puzzle together. Instead of keeping it all separate, start merging your messages, right? Start trying to like decipher them together instead of, oh, I had a dream and that's this, and I got a message and that's that. It's not. It's all one now.
Yeah.
And like Kathy is saying, a belly full of uncertainty. Absolutely. Huge belly full of it for like 2.5 weeks. Right?
Yes. Things are going to go good with Kathy. I just I keep on seeing her name and it's like I just want to say that out loud. Things are good. So go with
things are good, Kathy. All right.
Things are supposed to be you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. Anyway, and you know what? And it's all going to be different for each and every one of us. And yet we are literally all having this similar stuff happen. It's just at different times.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say you're having a headache 1 week and you just can't understand why you're having the headache. The next week you have a belly ache or whatever. 2 weeks later, someone else is having the headache and someone else is having the belly ache. We're all getting it. We're just getting it at different times.
Yeah, exactly. And the people that never get headaches are getting headaches.
Oh my God, yes. And like little movies start playing out in your mind and you're thinking it's your imagination. It's not. It's your multidimensional being like nudging you to honor it. Right? And by honoring it is by just letting it be.
Yeah.
Right.
And your imagination when you're working with stuff like this is a must. You have to work with your imagination. You think that you're, growing up, I would see, a story play out in my head. And I had no idea what it was, but I was probably getting messages for somebody, right? And until I got older and realized what was happening. So a lot of people think, oh, it's just my imagination. Well, step back for a second.
Exactly. Step back for a second, because
Yeah.
right now, previously, it was just psychics and mediums and stuff getting messages for other people.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
we're all getting our own message, and
Yes.
they're trying to get through so many different ways that they're all one way. They're just different languages. Okay, so if
Yes.
you're sitting with 7 different energies, those 7 different energies are you, and one of them speaking in light, and one of them speaking in Italian, and one of them
Yep.
speaking in dream code, and like their
Mhm.
archetypal language. All of that stuff is just your multidimensional being trying
Right.
to get you to merge it together.
Yes.
Right? So,
Absolutely.
and that gives me a stomach ache just talking about it. Right? I got that thing in my stomach right now, and that's the intuition. Right? It's not like a stomach ache, right? Some people have the sensations, but it's
No,
nudging me.
like my head is so much pressure right now just with us talking.
Okay, and
It's
that was previous to this online conversation. That's what was happening to me this morning.
right.
It wanted
Right.
to get out of my head and onto a document or into a conversation. So the pressure was so bad until I want to say like maybe 40 minutes ago when I
Mhm.
sent you the notes.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Finally, it was just like, okay. So that just tells me that if you're having a headache again,
Yeah.
what do you need to get out of your body?
Oh, I know what I have to do.
Right?
I didn't write down my notes today yet.
Oh, so it's like in a computer bank still, okay?
Yeah,
Like
it's in there, and
notes.
it's like nudging me before I forget, because I will forget. So it's nudging me to write down what I saw.
Right. And
So
like you and I talked earlier, sometimes we don't get excited anymore because we are always getting messages and we've always got nudges and we've always gotten dreams, and we just accepted it as being part of who we are. Well,
right.
no longer, right? Merge it all together. So now we have to get that excitement back again, right?
Well,
And
I think I have it. I think I'm getting it back because,
okay.
I will call you or call our other friends or whatever and just be like, holy crap, right? So it's
Yes.
different. It's a different kind of message. It's,
Yes.
I get messages from, spirit all the time, but this is different. And I've been noticing this, for a while now, that it's coming in different. I'm seeing it different. I'm
Yes.
hearing it, like all my senses, they're shifting. So,
Yes.
as I would see spirit before, I still see spirit, but it's just
In a
different.
different form.
It's totally different. Yeah.
Yes.
So, everybody that, with abilities, you'll be noticing it. And everybody that don't use their abilities will start noticing, like
Yeah, all
little,
of a sudden they'll feel more intuitive. They'll feel more energy from around them or from people, right? So we're now all of us are empaths. We're
yeah,
not just targeting one empath anymore in the room. All of us are going to start digesting all of this. And it's like Kathy put, a belly full of uncertainty because you don't know what it is, where it's
nope,
coming from, how you got it. You think you're
nope,
sick, you go to the doctor, you think you're doing all this stuff, and it's really just a merge.
yeah.
Okay.
We don't
And
have
over
the answers. Nobody has the
no,
answer as to why this is the way it is.
no,
It is. It just is.
it just is. And overthinking it does not help.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're journaling, if you have a journaling dream, and if you're becoming in tune with your body and your mind, just allow the process to unfold organically
Mm-hmm.
and just be intuitively led. Right. So if you're intuitively led, yes, to go to a doctor, then go to a doctor. Right. If you're not, then you know what it is, then sit with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just let your spirit guides help you. Let your power animals help you.
Mm-hmm.
Let the energies of your committees help you.
Mm-hmm. Your
Right. This
council,
is,
your committees, all your peoples.
yes, all your peoples. Let them all help you. And you can ask spirit to allow other energies to help you. Right. So you can, because Kim connects with spirit a lot. She can actually say to spirit, I'm taking the talking stick and I'm passing it to someone else.
Yes.
Someone else needs to talk to me right now. And you're going to have to wait your turn. Right.
Yes.
So the more we really set those boundaries with each one of our multidimensional beings, the more they'll start to support each other
Right.
and become easier to merge. right?
Yeah, 'cause sometimes you actually feel like, you'll be having your normal day. For like, I'm speaking for myself. I'll be having my normal day, and then I just feel like something is different. Like I just something is different, and
Something
I
different.
know because I've worked hard the last couple of years on all this stuff, but I know that it's another dimension. It's
Yes.
another me somewhere else, right?
It's
But
that quantum energy that we talk about. Like we
yeah,
are past, present, and future all the time,
yeah,
right? Everything's happening all at once. It's actually true. And
yeah.
it's really hard for our human bodies and minds to grasp that. But that's what's happening right now.
Right. I feel like I travel, but I'm wide awake.
Right.
And I'm still in my body, but I still have that floaty feeling of that I just left or I traveled somewhere and I'm doing something
Yeah.
else. It's like I've always had it in my sleep. I always, you'll wake up tired or whatever. So you know that you're leaving, right? You know
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
But now it's like almost like a daily thing where you're like just doing your normal thing and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what just happened?
Right.
Right?
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Like I'm getting some energies right now that I have to get rid of.
Yeah.
Right. And in order for me to get rid of them, I have to stop the video. That's what I'm being nudged to do right now. Is stop the
Wow.
video. Yes. Like in an intense way, actually. So I'm being told that that's enough information. And
Oh,
just as I said that, it calmed down. So that tells me that I have to stop the conversation.
all right.
That's so
Well,
bad.
see, when we started, I told you there was things that we weren't like, that I
Yes,
was picking up. Um,
there is more of this to come, but clearly today that's not what we're meant to share. Right? So what we're meant to share is just a little talk on some energies.
be aware.
Be aware. Yes.
Yeah,
So I'm
just
interested to see all the comments that come in as you rewatch the video and as the other dreamers get to watch it later, because I know we're pretty early for the conversation. Um, but maybe the questions and comments and conversations will allow us to lead us into the next part of it. So, yeah. Yeah, it's
okay.
hilarious. Yeah.
Well, we have to listen. This is part of
Yes.
it.
And we tell other people that too, right? Listen to your intuition.
Yeah,
We also have to listen when we get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't, then it's like almost you'll feel it.
Yeah.
Listening, you'll feel it.
Definitely. Definitely feeling it right now.
Okay. So,
Okay,
okay,
so
we're good.
we're going to end with that. So thank you for the few of you who did join us
Yes,
live.
thank you.
And
Thank you, Jenny.
I
There she
thank
goes.
you,
She's,
Kim.
yep.